At this very moment, there are 260 babies being born somewhere in the world. There are 160 people dying. At this very moment, 13 different major wars are raging across our planet. At this very moment, 7 astronauts and 3 cosmonauts are traveling above us at a speed of over 18,000 miles per hour aboard the International Space Station. Right now, 3,000 tons of water are flowing over Niagara Falls, and 9,000 orders are being placed on Amazon. In just the next 60 minutes, just here in the United States, 600 car accidents will occur. 23 couples will get married. 6 people will be the victims of gun violence. And our national debt will increase by over $250 million. And while it may appear to us that we are sitting still here together in this sanctuary, we are all actually moving through space at over 30 kilometers per second as our Earth rotates around the sun. This world is a busy place, made up of well over 8 million human souls, each of us having our own experiences, living through our own unique minutes and moments. So if we are truly trying to pay attention, we have a lot of choices of what to pay attention to. And that can be overwhelming. The incredible multiplicity of life happening around us and within us all the time can make really paying attention a demanding and challenging endeavor. There's just so much to take in, so much to process, so many thoughts and feelings about it all. It can become natural to just want to be a little numb. It's normal to want to resist noticing everything that comes our way, particularly the unpleasantness and the ugliness. Blocking out parts of our experience is simply a survival response at times. But when we stop paying attention to the hard stuff, we also end up missing out on some of the blessings, the wonders, and the beauty. It seems to me that striving to be attentive must begin not by looking outward, but by looking inward, pushing aside all of the distractions and the demands going on around us, and really trying to focus on what we are thinking in this moment, how we are actually feeling right now. Sitting with our thoughts and our emotions, holding them and honoring them, paying attention to them, allows us to be at home in our own bodies and grounded in the present. If we're spending our energy denying or pushing away those vital parts of ourselves, it can be so much harder to pay attention to what life is offering to us. The pain and the loss and the trauma that we are carrying from the past is real. And it has the power to trap us in living in yesterday rather than today. At the same time, our worries, our anxieties, and anticipation about what we imagine will be happening next can prevent us from experiencing the gift of this current moment. The late Buddhist visionary Thich Nhat Hanh told a wonderful story about this in his book, The Root Temple. At his retreat center, known as Plum Village, Thich Nhat Hanh taught the principles and practices of engaged Buddhism. Among the residents of this community in France were many novice monks, people learning the path together. One day, some of the monks were doing their chores after prayers and cleaning up after the morning meal. Thich Nhat Hanh walked through the kitchen and paused to chat with one of the young students who was busy washing a large pile of very dirty dishes. He said, "Good morning. I don't know if we have met yet. Who are you?" The monk said, "Master, I am Gregory." No, my friend, you are not Gregory. You are doing the dishes." "So good morning, doing the dishes. It is a blessing to meet you." This was Thich Nhat Hanh's way of expressing the need for us to concentrate on what we are actually doing in the moment and completely live into each activity, seeking out the joy and the meaning within it, becoming the act of doing dishes, and letting that be who we are in that instant. Of course, like all spiritual disciplines, that takes practice. It demands patience and intention. It requires conscious awareness of where we are, what's happening, how our bodies and our minds and our hearts are responding. I don't know about you, but there are times when I'm up for this challenge. I can just let go of being Bruce, and I can actually become doing the dishes. There are lots of times, though, when quite honestly, I am just not able to be that mindful. I'm kind of okay with that, and I encourage you to be too. This past week, I have to tell you, I really struggled to write this sermon. And it seemed kind of fitting almost that while I was trying to put together my thoughts about paying attention, I just kept getting distracted by other things. And I just could not focus for very long. It goes without saying that closely watching all of the news, hour after hour, day after day, is not the healthiest or most life-affirming of activities right now. Taking a break from being hyper-aware of the latest political scandal, military invasion, natural disaster, or outrageously misguided and harmful policy, and just allowing our attention to shift and to drift a little, it's a good thing to do. It can be the only way to keep going sometimes. But wherever our thoughts and our feelings lead us, we need to try to return again to being aware, to being present, so that we can fully live, fully be alive, maintain our sense of direction. Here at All Peoples, and for us as Unitarian Universalists, paying attention is a particularly vital spiritual practice because of the whole way we approach the idea of finding truth and meaning. Our religious tradition emerged out of Enlightenment philosophy and remains very influenced by it. Our Universalist and Unitarian ancestors were inspired by 18th century European thinkers like Friedrich Schleiermacher and others, who came to some bold and revolutionary theological conclusions, ideas that still resonate with us today. Schleiermacher was among the first people to declare that true religion was about more than concrete creeds and beliefs handed down through scriptures and traditions from some distant point in history. He asserted that the root of all religious truth was found in our personal experience. He described spirituality as our ability to have a taste for the infinite, And so that the whole of Revelation was contained within those fleeting times when we pause long enough to actually experience a reality beyond ourselves. We carry this affirmation with us today as we continue to practice a religion which places the experience before the belief and not the other way around. This is why our statement of shared UU identity says this: direct experience of transcending mystery and wonder are the primary source of Unitarian Universalist inspiration. These experiences open our hearts, renew our spirits, and transform our lives. And so, as we are hunting for truth and for meaning, and seeking out hope and connection, we must be mindful that it can come from anywhere. It can come from anyone. It can be found in any situation or circumstance. This means that we've got to try to be aware, to remain aware, to pay attention as best we can. We've got to keep looking and learning. Keep noticing the tiny miracle of that flower rising in the green of our yard, especially after a long winter. Keep discovering that modest revelation within someone else's story of their joy or sorrow. Keep being open to the new understanding contained within a song or a poem or the latest episode of Bridgerton. Keep beholding that little bit of goodness arising in people, coming together and taking care of each other amidst war and oppression and isolation. The great author Alice Walker famously wrote, "I think it pisses God off if you walk by the color purple in a field somewhere and do not notice it." Those words come from Walker's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, a novel which centers on the stories of fragile folks living through segregation and violence, poverty, domestic abuse, and unspeakable hardship. And yet, in her story, those beloved souls rise each day, and they sing, and they endure, and they love, because they find in one another tenderness and strength, and because they keep discovering the deeper truth within themselves. May we keep paying attention, even when the realities we behold are hard to see. May we keep noticing the holiness in the face of every person we meet. May we rest from time to time and enjoy a few distractions, and then get right back at it, recognizing all of the gifts that we are being given right now in this particular moment. And taking it all in, may we find ourselves more grateful than ever, knowing that we are blessed to be here right now. Amen. And so may it be. Our closing song today is hymn number 128 in your gray hymnal, For All That Is Our Life. I invite you to rise in body, spirit, or voice, and let's sing.
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love. We come with praise and thanks for all that is our life. For sorrow we must bear, for failures, pains, and loss. Each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass. Come with praise and thanks for all that is our life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
I invite you to join hands as you're comfortable for our closing words of blessing. And please stick around and join us for some snacks and conversation over in Weston Hall and for online discussions happening on Zoom. My friends, go. Go now in peace. Cherish each other. Truly listen to each other. Be ready in any moment to disarm your heart and always live as if a new realm of love has begun. Go in peace. Amen.